You're like my daughter.
Get it out of my face, oh man.
I get it at home. I don't need it here at work, too. I'll tell you what, I've got one hot take for you.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to lay it on you right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think Genevieve is Erika Lauren.
Yeah?
I think she's disguising her voice. I think she's calling. I think she's being passive-aggressive towards Bill and Mary. And I think she's leaving these. I think she's changing. Are you changing your voice when you call?
It was me.
I told you. I knew it was you. Where are you?
I am laying in bed.
Yeah.
As is customary.
Right. So this whole quarantine thing, you already were like,
you mastered this.
Yeah, you're like pro-quarantiner before any of us. We're all flipping out and freaking out, and you were already doing it.
Business as usual, my friend.
I know.
Business as usual.
How you doing through all this?
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't feel any different than I did before coronavirus.
Yeah.
The self-isolation thing I'm quite used to.
Yeah.
The feeling like crap all the time, I could do without.
Yeah.
Personally. So, and then, of course, you get all your doctor's appointments canceled because of this. So.
Oh, no, I didn't think about that.
Right.
I'm a sitting duck, man.
You're still spinning your wheels.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Much.
Now, one thing that has changed is Ian's home, right?
Yes.
That's making it worse.
That's my
Just that little
question. Is that
giggle.
making it better? Is that making it worse?
Oh, man. I just gave him a hard time yesterday because he literally, on all of his 15-minute breaks from work, he comes upstairs. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on? I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm doing. I'm laying in bed. Like, I'm either doing one of three things. I'm complaining, I'm watching some kind of crap TV, or I'm petting a cat. That's the three options in my life right now. So,
And sometimes simultaneously.
yeah, pretty much. But he's been very helpful. But yeah, I mean, I'll be ready when he's able to go back to work for at least a few days a week.
I was going through Twitter, and there was like a random video that was going around of a dude doing like the little finger kick flips on the tiny skateboards.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
like, oh, Ian's probably doing that in quarantine.
Yeah.
Oh, yep, working from home, just skating on his desk. Oh.
Right.
I honestly feel bad for him because, like, I'm used to this. He's not used to being stuck at home. So it's been interesting.
So do you get to go out at all? Like, what do you...
I mean, like, honestly, if I'm being truthful here, I'm having, like, one good health day every month. So on those days, I get the hell out of the house. I'm, running to Targets and Walmarts and, doing whatever I can do. But the rest of the time, honestly, I'm just redecorating every single room in my house constantly.
Over and over. And I know I go around our house and I'm like, man, there's got to be something I can clean up here.
Oh my God, you should see her bedroom. Like, well, my room when I actually stay over her house, but oh my gosh, her bedroom is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just giving myself projects to do on my good days, and I'm just turning decorative pillows into a side career.
That's awesome. You're nailing it.
But you could be doing voiceover stuff too.
You know what? I'm probably going to get back into that. A lot
Yeah.
of people are like, "Oh, start a podcast," and I'm like, honestly, like, I'm not against it, but everybody and their brother's beehole have a podcast, and like, I don't want to be another podcast.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what. iHeartRadio is #1 for podcast, Bill, and I'll tell you why. My Brother's Beehole, it is a compelling listen. It is a fantastic listen.
Lots of twists and turns.
I'll tell you what. That Dax Shepard can do anything.
Very prolific.
Very prolific. Yeah, no, but podcast, forget that. I mean, nobody's getting paid doing that. You can get paid to do voiceovers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm making a little side money doing home decor, Instagramming.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, that stuff's way easier to do than to sit there and try to come up with a compelling podcast.
Oh, they don't have to be compelling. That's the thing.
Yeah, maybe you might not have heard all of the podcasts, but 90% of them are not compelling.
And that's the thing. Even if it was compelling, I'd be lumped right into just, and here's another podcast.
Right, sure. Erika Lauren reviews every old episode of Frasier.
Yeah. I mean, that's very specific.
Well, you got to get that niche audience, the people who
Yeah.
are like, this week on the podcast, we talk about whether or not Quantum Leap was canceled too early.
I was actually just watching an old clip of when Poundcake ate your meatballs. You went to Gay Bay.
I remember that.
And Poundcake, you went to Gay Bay, this is years ago, and the
meatballs from Lago.
You were hanging out at the pool, and you ordered a meal, and then you got meatballs to share, and he ate 2 meatballs, and you ate 1, and you chew them out on air, and he's just like, well, I thought you were done eating, so I wanted to...
That's the thing, okay? And I'm still upset about this.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
Here's the thing, okay? Any normal human, if there's an order of 3 meatballs, you each eat 1, and you split the last one. That's what normal people do. You know what Poundcake does? He acts like a psychopath and eats both without asking.
When you pay
no
for
one,
it.
Yeah,
no
he
one,
didn't even order it.
no one thinks he's a normal person.
That's true. I
Yeah.
knew what I was getting into. I just didn't know the level of his depravity at the time.
Right.
Have you been reading his Pound Takes?
I'll be honest with you. I am not keeping up with the Alan Cox-Dashians at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's just because I've been just dealing with my health and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure he is up to his usual antics because you guys don't understand. Like, our friendship didn't stop. He's still over here, with his whole hootenanny every single time he comes over.
Not lately, though, since social
Ian and I
distancing.
we just microwave some popcorn and we just sit and listen to him. It's like you turn the device behind his back, you wind him up and just let him go.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm up to date on the fact that he, hoarded up in California and
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
he's in a drought right now. He's
an
up to
incel.
date on all of that nonsense. Unsolicited, by the way. I'm never like, hey, can you tell me what's going on with your sex life, please?
Hey, tell me about all that San Diego D. Right. He's like, I thought you'd never ask. Anyway.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still getting my usual Poundcake antics, not in person anymore. We actually FaceTimed not that long ago. We went on Instagram Live, and that was interesting.
Well, the Pound Takes, they're essentially like if you want to subscribe to his newsletter, you can read them and tell you
He's a
what...
self-proclaimed feminist that has declared that gay men have more have been.
Nobody knows
what
the
was it?
inequality of
Yeah.
the sexes like a gay man,
Yeah.
was his take.
The thing is, though, is like you're subscribed to his newsletter automatically. Like you're reading an email and you're like, I didn't subscribe to this.
Yeah.
Unsubscribe, and it still just pops up.
Yeah, the trouble with Pound Cake is you can't opt out.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say this: he's a damn good friend, so I'll give him that.
You know, when I go home, my daughter wants to. My daughter never stops. From the minute she wakes up in the morning, she's talking. She starts talking in her sleep, the whole thing, until the minute the batteries just drain on her and she falls over and goes to sleep. Right? And I told Gwen, I go, it's like having Pound Cake at my house. It's like I have him at work, and then I go home. It's like, you know.
2 speeds only.
Yeah, it's like having a tiny Pound Cake in my house when I go home.
Yeah. Oh, I miss you guys so much.
Yeah, we miss you too. So
Sounds good just to hear your voice. It's like you hear it and you smile. It's like, oh, so cute.
But you're keeping your head above water and day by day and that whole bit?
Yeah, I wish I had, I wanted to call and just say hi. I know it's, been forever, but, I don't really have a lot of updates other than I'm still tackling this beast. We know a little bit more. I've got some autoimmune issues that are going on, so that's kind of like one thing is compounding on top of another.
Right.
So, but we were making progress. In fact, I had just gotten into the functional medicine clinic at Cleveland Clinic, and they were I got 40 vials of blood drawn, and they had done all this work, and we were getting all these results back, which were pointing to very specific things, and it was time to start discussing treatment options, and then coronavirus.
Man.
Literally.
That sucks.
So I hit a brick wall, but I'm no less the person I was before. I'm just doing it from bed,
Yeah.
Right. You're just more horizontal.
Yeah, and I'm more whiny.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ian.
Actually, just more whiny.
Yeah. Notice I said more.
Yeah, more. It is good to hear from you, though.
Yeah, and I actually saw Bill. We did like a little Zoom meeting with a few local media friends, and I was like, you know what? I'm well enough to at least call and just say what's up. And, obviously I miss, every time there's some kind of news story that's hilarious or, I have an opinion on, I'm like, what do I do with these thoughts?
Right.
I just have to tell myself, cool.
And you're missing formal Fridays. I mean, come on.
And you're missing
And
angry
Alex Jones
callers.
asses and stuff, and I'm missing out on all of it.
I know.
I'm just here. I'm existing.
Yeah, all
but,
right.
The fight continues. I'm working at it as per usual.
Yeah.
I wish the circumstances were different, but obviously you guys all know no hard feelings here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, we miss you.
Well, it's good to hear
Definitely.
from you. I mean,
Yeah.
give your husband a big smooch from us, and
Yeah, I love that.
don't be a stranger.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well,
All right,
hi.
there you go.
Bye. Love you.
All right, there's the lovely Erika Lauren, who is
yeah.
at home and checking in and